I'm so excited to talk to you guys. I had so much fun watching the first few episodes of this series. It is totally unlike anything I've ever really seen before, and it was so much fun to watch. I want to ask you guys, when this series sort of like first came to you, what was your initial reaction to it?
Loved it.
Loved it. And my mother will not be able to watch it.
It's not it's not for pearl clutchers.
Yeah.
It's just not. That and I personally love that kind of like absolutely unhinged humor. It's my favorite kind of thing. I just thought the world was like so fleshed out. Viv just has this like really deep understanding of this world, and that it was like jokes on jokes on jokes. It made me like want to be a part of it.
Yeah. Viv is one, I mean, it's kind of rare for something to be totally original these days.
Yeah.
And Hazbin Hotel is actually, I mean, it's fully from Viv's brain. I think she even mentioned that maybe one of the characters is like based on something she drew when she was 10. So it's just been like living in her mind rent free for a very long time. So I just think that's what I loved about it, because you very rarely get scripts for anything these days where you're like, oh, there's no source material. This is just this person's creation and we get to bring it to life.
So exciting. And I mean, watching it, I feel like every episode, a new voice would pop up that I recognize. It's totally star-studded with so many like musical theater, Broadway favorites. For you guys, since you both have experience on stage in musicals, what do you enjoy about doing voiceover work? That sort of like disconnect, but like a new sort of a performance aspect to things.
Erica?
So thanks, Tiffany. I mean, I love that you just like you can't think twice. You just kind of have to go because we show up and we have to record a whole episode in, you might have 2 hours. And so it feels like the best version of rehearsal meets improv because you just have to go with your biggest, boldest choices and trust your gut and trust that you know the character or that it's worth taking a big swing because we only have so much time. And that was my favorite. Like sometimes what gets hard with theaters, you get so stuck and you've been rehearsing for so long and you get into these patterns. And with voiceover, it's just always on to the next. So you're constantly having to like use your imagination and think on the spot and improvise, which is just a joy. Like it's so rare to get to do that. And you get to be, I mean, a quiet room in New York City where nobody can hear me make insane noises. That's like, that doesn't exist
Yeah.
unless you're doing voiceover, which is the best.
How about you,
Great
Stephanie? What
answer.
do you, yeah.
No notes, 10 out of 10. Copy and paste, baby.
Well, for both of you, I mean, like Stephanie, we loved you and Encanto and In the Heights. There's these like amazing like musical theater, like this sort of like musical theater animation, sort of like hybrid that I love seeing. For you guys, what was that like, sort of integrating songs into these characters and into this story?
Ooh.
Love. It feels exactly right. It feels fitting. It's the world. It's like it feels pretty seamless, I think. When these characters burst into song, it feels seamless. And also there's like a commentary from the other characters on it a lot of the time.
Yes.
It's like, we know what world we're living in. We're all here. Did you want to come? If not, then see you later. But like, this is for the people that like that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
This is for the people that don't even know that they like that stuff. Uh,
Yes. So maybe
seamless.
my mom will watch it. She loves when people burst into song. So that's where I'm like, Ma, this is for you. It's for
Yeah,
you.
there's something for everyone in this series, I think. You guys mentioned that there are like some things happening going on in this show that you've gotten to voice that like you never maybe would have thought parents might not see. Is there sort of a certain like not protection, but there's sort of a different vibe when you're just kind of voicing it instead of being on stage or in front of a camera that maybe makes you more comfortable or sort of like changes your approach to it?
Yeah, I mean, I think like Erica said, if you're away from prying eyes, then your strange little imagination is going to do whatever it wants to do without the feeling of like, is anybody looking at me? It's very, very different than being on stage or having a camera in your face. It's very freeing. It's extremely vulnerable.
Mhm.
Um, And, you know, a lot of times I often ask for the lights to be lowered in the booth so that like even the people that are in the other booth, like my directors or whoever, the writers, so that they can't see me either. So that I'm just doing what I'm doing by myself, which is really, it's a very vulnerable and freeing place to work as an actor, I think.
That's so smart, Steph. I should do that. Like it's like the one thing you get to do where nobody gets to see you. I mean, when we get animated, there's obviously little elements that they're using our voice to animate us, but there is something really special about being totally private while you create something and like create the character. Yeah. I think the other thing is that the one thing that for me is not hard, but it's just sort of it was kind of the delightful thing about doing this was we didn't get to record together. So sometimes what would happen is they'd feed in like a little bit of Steph or a little bit of like Alex Brightman. And that is so fun when you start to get to like hear your cast members come to life for you. Over the course of recording season 1, that was kind of my favorite thing that is so different from theater or film, that we're all doing it separately. And then slowly over time, you might get pieces. So when it does finally come together, like on our premiere night, it's just this wild collaborative thing, even though we were all in our contained dark boxes alone doing it for the beginning.
Well, hello there, you wayward sinner. Do you like blood, violence, and depravity of a sexual nature?
Oh, Daddy, Do you really expect me to memorize this whole script?
Of course you do. That's why you're in hell. What would you say if I told you there was a place to stay that had none of that? Welcome to the Hazbin Hotel. Your last desperate attempt at salvation starts here.
So, what do you think?
I'm sorry, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, one note. This place is about second chances to convince heaven the people of hell can be redeemed.
Hi, mister.
Go fuck yourself!
Have you ever wanted something that was so clear in your mind that you could taste it?
You're gonna help sinners?
Fucking hilarious!
It's a feeling like a rumbling in your gut.
I just hope what I'm trying to do here will work.
Are you fucking high?
Here, hold this. Oh my god, oh my god! For the first time in my life. Holy shit, why? Ready for this, ready to be the...
We got 24 hours before the extermination begins. Let's get to work.
And although I kind of feel unsteady, now I need to be ready for this.
They're gonna fucking die. They're gonna die.
For the first time in our lives, we know that we are ready for this.
We'll show heaven a fight they won't forget.
It is time to take a stand.
It is time to lend a hand against the angels and their deadly threat.
We cannot take it anymore. The time has come to go to war. Prepare to fight. We're ready for.
It's time I remind everyone why I'm here.
I really hope that I'm ready for this.
I'm a bad man who never got enough hugs. Where's an innocent kid I can sell crack to? Who wrote this?
It's great, right? Keep going.